Hello, everyone. Welcome on this fine. What do we have here? Wednesday evening, or at least it's so in here. For the stream, yes, it is. Hello, Anom. Today, I've decided to do something that I haven't done for some time, at least, and work some code. Because coding is fun. Hello, Zerf. Hello. How are you doing on this Wednesday? You can see my beautiful desktop. It is very beautiful. It has the bro. I'm fine. What's wrong? What's wrong? Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I can't really say I've watched her much, but her design was cute. But there's like so much drama surrounding it. I'd rather not get into it. I try to steer clear of VTuber drama because, like, this is well, like talking about that about VOMs specifically, right? The worst thing is that they kind of like you had the first gen, right? You had like Pikame, you had Tomoshka, and you had Monoe. I think that was the name. Also, wait, God, I went live so quick I forgot to announce it on Twitter. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you had like Pikame, you had Tomoshka, and you had Monoe. Monoe just kind of got terminated for no reason, like in 2021, I think. Like one day, Worms just removed her channel, like out of nowhere, and no one to this day knows why that happened. It just kind of did. And now Pikame graduated, so from like Bomb's first generation, you just had Tomoshka all alone. I mean, there is like Vom's second generation, but you know, it's like she has no more gen mates. It's kind of sad. It was so like breach of like internal documents, because I remember reading about the whole Monoa situation, and the things that people came up with as explanation were just absolutely whack. Shit like she was caught using drugs or whatever, and it's like so out of place, like so out there. Yeah. Like, VTubing is just one giant drama magnet. Yeah, it's just speculation, but still. Like, VTubing is one giant drama magnet. Like, it's this like one hobby people have, or job for some, where there's basically drama like every other. It's even worse than Osu players. It's even worse than Osu players, and it says a lot. Because, like, Osu has this one giant problem where, like, every other month another top player is outed for being a you-know-who. Yeah, by the way, speaking of that, another Osu player got outed for being a creep like a week ago. I think this time it was Utami, who was like the #1 American player. Yeah, Pikame was like the front man of VOMs. Like that's the one person, cause like you know she could speak both English and Japanese, so it was like a massive benefit for them for actually reaching like. What would happen with an also focused VTuber? That is territory that I'd rather not breach yet. That is uncharted territory. Well, actually no. Okay, Anom, I'm sorry. One already exists, called Neurosama, yeah. And like about a week since she got popular, Twitch already terminated her on grounds of racism and anti-Semitism because of what the people in the chat were feeding her. So basically, that's the same shit as what happened with Microsoft's Stay or whatever. Yeah, wait, let me just bring up the article. That's why you never train AI or anything on shit that people give you online. Neurosama suspended. Yeah, you can see here. This is a cautionary tale for anyone trying to get into like generating text. She did act like a Nosu player. I cannot decline that, at least for most of the top players. Yeah, she got banned for for hateful conduct, which is in line of like some of the clips. Because the thing about Neurosama is that she has like this feedback loop of she talks, like you have Neurosama here. Like she talks? Space, what? How? Like, she like talks shit during breaks. And she reads from the chat. Like, all of the shit that she gets is like from the chat. And during playtime, she's like learning what the chat is like talking. It's like a Markov chain. And then if chat feeds her something, then it's gonna stick in her memory, and it's a story as old as time. One of the hinges that holds the space bar is detached, so I'm clicking the stub while the glue over it hardens. I admire the dedication. Don't let me copy the link so I don't... Wait! Oh. Fortune uses and false. Yeah. Machine learning is interesting, to say the least. The things that people do with it, you have like two spectrums. On the one hand, you have like the people that do like shit like Tay. Like some big corporation goes, okay, I have this perfect idea, like this amazing idea. You've never heard of this before. We'll create an AI, but it can talk with people and then like learn from them. How can that go wrong? How long did it take for Tay to like start labeling pictures with like racists, with like text called swagger or something like that? Yeah, something like one day. That's why you never unleash something onto the internet with no moderation. Yeah, it was brigaded like almost instantly. Also, is the music like audible? Is it fine? Okay. Hopefully when I upload the VOD, YouTube doesn't take it down, because it's going to be kind of ass otherwise. Okay, all this talk about language models and everything just made me lose track of what I wanted to do. So, VTubeTiny. I kinda got lazy, I didn't update it in a long time. Mostly because I had like not only university exams, but also 3 weeks of free time where I just kind of how do I say it? I got very lazy. But I still managed to get some work done. So just to like recap what I did, it's all on GitHub, of course. Actually, going to modify this. github.com. Here's the code. If anyone wants to check it out. So, the first big refactor I've done, let me launch VTubeTiny, is that before the app used to be tied to the Windows audio session API. So whenever we were like pulling microphones and all, it was all just like tied to Windows. We had basically no way of how do I say it? Like even if we were to build VTubeTiny, it wouldn't run anywhere else because it instantly calls into like Windows APIs to get all of the microphones and all of that. And it kind of stunk. I mean, I don't really have all the machines to test this on, but even like future-proofing myself, so I could in the future write code for Mac, for Linux, and for everything else. A refactor had to be done. So if I could pull up the Git repo before the rewrite. So back then, like we had this class called the microphone helper, like visible here. All it did was like at beginning, like at the start, it called like the device enumerator, the internal Windows device enumerator, and then it just like got all of them and stored them in like a list. And then all of the components that wanted to use the audio device, right? They had to like get it from the microphone helper. And they had to like operate specifically on like Windows stuff. Like all of them had to like specifically call into Wasapi and all the stuff, which kinda stunk. I didn't like it. So what I did, I spent a bit of time rewriting the code to use a new concept called a listenable device. A listenable device in the context of VTubeTiny is just a device that allows people to listen in on it. So you can get like the current volume level. And then at the beginning of like the application, you have a class that just checks all of the loaded types to see how many of them can like expose listenable devices. Just gets all of them, and yeah, that simplifies everything a shit ton, because now I can just store a listenable device and not care about what it does internally. It's a listenable device, I can listen on it. Fine. So far we have only one type of a listenable device, and that's the Windows one. But yeah, it's very good because it allows us to write code for more than just Windows. It's very, well, abstract. It's still a bit buggy, but as you can see. Also, another dumb thing that I've done, you can now, instead of only listening in on microphones, you can also listen in on speakers. If you want something to react to the speaker, I guess. That's apparently what my OS thinks is the output from my speaker right now. Yeah, okay. And to finish off the recap, last thing I really, it's going wild. Yeah, it is. For some reason, like it doesn't even look like it's doing much. But well, it's going wild, very wild. And the last thing I did over the break was I've added plugins to VTubeTiny, which so far is my favorite feature that I haven't really talked about yet. It basically allows people to write their own code to be loaded by the library. So they can write like their own implementations for listenable devices, they can write their own components. So you don't have to like modify the source code of VTubeTiny, you can just, if I can show it here, yeah, sample VTubeTiny plugin. You can just write your own like DLL, your own like library, and then link against VTubeTiny. And yeah, like here, I've created a sample listenable device that basically just uses a sign to assign as the level. And now if I were to switch to it, because I have it loaded, you can see it just, and then it goes down. Like a sine wave. And yeah, another thing, you can create your own components. You can see like there's a plugin component and it just says hello up over there. Barely visible, but so yeah, it's nothing too much to write about, but those are changes that I like. So yeah, things. But enough about what I did. Instead, let's talk about what I'm gonna do now. Oh, okay, just one last thing. I've added the ability to use textures as backgrounds. So now you can do stuff like this. If I can find something that won't get me taken off Twitch. You can load in a texture and then use it. And even tile it if you want. If that's your jam. Stretch it, tile it. And yeah, it works with GIFs, it works with regular textures. Development. Good news, Spacebar is back. Welcome back, Spacebar. How was the slumber? How long did the Kato give VTube? Okay, I smelled a lot of glue. God, I hate glue. I'm sorry, I would not be able to sniff it. It smells bad, like really bad. I don't know, like I don't know how kids can have glue all the time. I after 20 Warhammer miniatures, you get used to it. Yeah, thankfully I don't have to glue that much, but I guess it's common in Warhammer fans, the glue sniffing part. Okay, I'll never get around to doing what I wanted to do. So far, I wanted to change how the animations work in here. Because so far they are tied to what we call the audio responsive movement controller. And that's kind of bad. At least I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's dependent on this one specific component, because why is it? Like the character animator is separate and everything else is separate. Why is it tied to the thing that just passes the audio levels, right? So what I'm planning to do is separate this into its own component, and on top of that, because I see a lot of like VTubers like when their models just like float around or move when they are idling. Personally, I don't like it. That's why VTubeTiny does not have it. But if I want others to use it, I'd rather not have them. Yeah, depend on the things that I've imposed on the software. So going into the code, if I can find it, there it is. Basically, I want all of this code that's like dealing with movement and all that stuff to just yank it out, snip, paste it elsewhere, and somehow factor it out in a way where I can just like add the special movements and all to like all of the different states. Idling, speaking, whatever. So, first things first. Components. Let's create a new component. Call it the character mover controller, I guess. Wait. Okay. This gives me a question. Do I want it to be a separate controller, or do I want it to be part of the character animator? Technically, it's like, they have a character. It can be idle, or it can be speaking. And, well, whether the character is idle or speaking is not really bound to anything, because that information is supplied to us from the microphone. So, technically you can have a character that can move around but not be animated in any way. Okay, well now I'm going to factor it into its own component, but if I'll ever want it to be tied, I'll just rewrite it again. Used to it. Rewriting sucks, but that's what a programmer has got to do. Snorting up entire bottles of glue. Couldn't be me, I don't even have a glue stick on hand, and it sucks. I need to get some glue. Character mover component. How do you create components in VTubeTiny again? Okay, so first and foremost, we need to make it public. It's supposed to be used. And the most important thing is that, well, this is why you suck at Guilty Gear. You ain't got no glue to... I'm not a Potemkin player, so that does not apply to me. I specifically play Bridget. The less glue I have, the better. So, the next thing that's important, at least, is that, well, not important, but it's a nicety, is that at least I've added a way to specify dependencies. Like one component can depend on another, and if you try to add this component and the dependency isn't satisfied, it's just going to create it like that. You can just depends on component type of audio responsive movement component, because that's going to be like our baseline, because it will supply us the microphone data. So let's just make sure that it will work. Let's override the start function, which will allow us to call console write line hello. Let me make the text a bit bigger so people can read. So now if I were to add the create a new actor, let's add the character mover component. It also creates the audio responsive movement controller. And yeah, hello. So going back to it, we want it to be not an island. Speaking aware component, yeah. Because we want to know where the character is speaking. So public boolean is speaking get and set. And what do we have to implement? Literally just that, apparently. Okay. Whether actually no. Sorry. Just inherit doc. It's enough. Visual Studio, are you having fun? That's not where it's supposed to be. Okay, now it's fine. So. Now we want... I'm not gonna implement the idle movement yet. For now I want to refactor all of the code from here. So, first and foremost, we'll need the update method. So, and reminded that in regular C boolean isn't built in, you need to include stdbool.h. Yeah, back when C was a thing, well, it still is, but back when like C89 was a thing, people went, okay, we don't need booleans, we have integers, right? So instead of going something failed and returning a false, they went something failed, here's -1. Because, I mean, back then, like, even error management wasn't really a thing. Instead of managing errors like any modern system, right? So they have like an exception type, or they return like a value from an enumeration. Like they return it directly to the caller. So when you, the user, when you like request something from like a method and it fails, it like crashes and burns like horribly. Flames and shit. It just says, okay, here's the error, handle it your way. No, they came up with this perfect thing called erno. And erno is a global variable. Because why not? So, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, when the application fails, it just tells you, okay, here's -1, treat it as a boolean false. And if you want to know what's happening, just read the erno. And erno is just a single integer, completely unprotected by thread safety, and it just sucks ass. Yeah. Man, I am so glad that... Well, The worst thing is, you might think, okay, but that's like in the past. No one needs to learn like old C standards. No. The previous semester at my university, we were learning C89 and CC. So we had to learn both Python, which is fine, and the oldest standardized C variant. Because, yeah, that's how things work in Poland. So overwrite update, and inherit doc for this. Do I have to write the thing ourselves? Okay, here we have a interesting conundrum that I didn't really think about. Because we depend on the level. Not really the the is speaking itself, but we actually want the level of the device, which is fine. We can do that. Actually, no. I might be horribly misunderstanding how. This is how coding works. You write something, you come back to it, and then it's like, okay, yeah. So we define a threshold for when we consider it talking. So that can stay. That can stay on the microphone thing. We just want the movement itself. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So we can yank all of this, leave only this here. So private int last level. So that's going to be the level. Actually, no, yeah, that this has to go back here. So instead of talking, we'll just say is speaking. Right. So what do we need? We need all of these, which are all of these variables, right? Initial position before jump, if I remember correctly. The timer for jumping is jumping. What else do we need? We need to have jump height, jump speed multiplier, limit jumps, and max jumps. Those are all of the things that we can yank out of this because they no longer regard the movement component. And we also can get rid of jump count. The jump count. Hang on, let me restart the music because it's stopped. What should I put in? What will not get me copyright struck by YouTube on the VOD? If I get content ID, that's fine, but if I get copyright strike, it's the real pain in the ass. Polaris by C, that can work. 80s anime city pop. So we have all that we need here, I think. Yeah, we do. We also need to yank this out because we want override the start, and we want like a timer. Error the documentation on here. Fine. So good. So We can yank this out. Something crashed. Fine, I do not care. For now, we can store it over here. We don't really care about the serialization code. The serialization code will come in later, and this can also get removed. Beautiful. So now we only have code that's relevant to like detecting speaking. And sooner or later this can probably be just merged right into the actors themselves, because a lot of the actors will be just responsive to like voice. So there is no point in keeping them keeping this as a separate component. So we have this. We now need a override render editor GUI, right? Because we want to be able to modify this component, and the way we define like ways to modify components is via editor GUIs. And just paste this code in, and if I were to, yeah, now the character doesn't speak. I mean, doesn't move, because I've removed the code. But if I were to remove this, and then add the character mover, it moves, and I should be able to move it. Like, edit it. Yeah, the jump height, the speed, that's a bit excessive, but you get the point. And the audio responsive movement control. Woo! I can make it even faster. Go supersonic! She moving. She moving. But yeah, now the audio responsive movement controller is only cares about the device level. So instead, I can rename it now to speaking detector component or speech component. Speech. What is a good name for it? Not a speech detector. Speech. Microphone listener controller. Audio listener controller. Okay, that. Yes, I want to edit all of the references to audio listener controller. And it should probably crash now. Oh no, it's fine. Character mover. Yeah. Okay, so that's step number 1. And that was just refactoring all of the code. Let's go into the audio responsive movement controller and yank all of this out, because we no longer have to save it here. Instead, we want to make a new character mover config and just paste it here. That's all of the data we need. And if we do override in package parameters into config, yeah, return new character mover. That's like the mechanism we use for saving stuff in VTubeTiny. We just have like a two methods on every like packageable thing. We package them, which returns like the configuration component, the configuration class, like values on it. What do you not like? Character mover config. And then we have another like method that just reads all of the data, which is called inherit parameters from config. Just do like var config is JSON object to config character with a config parameters if parameters dot value, right? No, just parameters. And then we check if config is null. Well, that just means we don't have any config. We can return. It's fine. Otherwise, we set all of the values. So where do I have that saved? I have it saved here, like so. And here we just return like jump height is jump height. There's this limit jumps is this. I'm gonna format it in a way in a sec. Sorry. And done. So now everything should be stable. I'm kind of fearful that I'm making it very hard for newbies to get accustomed to this software, but it all should be fine once I actually make like a what's it called? A sample scene, which I'm stalling on because I am too lazy to finish the design that I've made for the character, because I don't really want to use my character for very obvious reasons as a sample character. But yeah, I have a design that I like. I'm just too lazy to finish it. Actually, let me show it to you. Document. Where do I have that saved? Yeah, there it is. You have a early access preview into the sample config character that I was designing. I think she looks sorta cute, but I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I just couldn't bring myself to finish this. So for like 3 months or something, that's all I have. And those are all of the things that I've... Why do I have the... Yeah, all of the like things that I wanted to add. It just is like pink hair, heterochromia, so like, you know, differently colored eyes. You have the glasses, a paperclip here, and freckles. I love freckles. They are cute. So hopefully I'll get off my lazy ass like soon. Trademark. Copyright. That is not an R. But yeah, with how much I'm adding to VTubeTiny, it's starting to feel like I need to make a better way to introduce like people and how it works. Soon. Okay, what I wanted to check. Can I save? Repos, VTubeTiny, bin, bug. No. Plugins, no. Press live. Oh, well. Data test movement. So now if I were to close it, open it again, and read it, and it works. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, time for a water break. My mouth hurts. I'm talking too much. Staying hydrated is very important when doing any work. Unless you wanna faint in the middle of doing it, which I don't think anyone will likes. Kinda counterproductive, to say the least. Okay, so we have moved it. It's called a surprise break. Well, now I actually kind of wonder if there's like any VTuber that like fainted live. It's kind of morbid, but I'm curious. Hang on. Google. VTuber fainted during stream. The first thing I have is a link to Reddit, and I'm afraid. The legendary 9-hour OTN stream where Yashiro Kizuku passed out. Okay, passed out drunk, that's not the same thing. But man passed out for 5 hours. The stream just like lasted. The guy just disappeared, like poof, out of existence. But do I have any? Okay, no, that's an actual streamer. But yeah, people did pass out on streams. Well, not pass out, like faint. I don't know whether I should be happy or sad about this information. I at least know that it happened at least once. That's enough for my curiosity. Moving on. What do I want? So with this out of the way, and I'm gonna change this to update this thing. The audio listener controller. Audio listener config. Please change it for everything. We can move on to step 2 of my grand plan. So right now, if we wanna make like a character, let's draw a very crude version of me. Beware, I am not an artist. I cannot draw. But let's draw a very crude version of me. How do I draw myself again? So let's say that's me. Have my tired eyes. A bit longer. I cannot draw her for especially since I'm on mouse. Okay, that can work. Of course, the Flash logo. We can never forget the Flash logo. Which I just completely bought. Okay, whatever. So we have me right here. So my character is composed out of a character, animator, a character mover, like an audio listener. So, you know, you have a VTuber, but some people, especially with like PNG tubers, they like when they are a bit more lively than mine. Because mine just like kind of blinks and moves her mouth when blabbering. Well, when I'm blabbering. And that's fine for me. But like some people like when, you know, they are idle and their character just like swings, stuff like that. Slowly moves from side to side. A lot of like popular stuff, like popular software like VideoTube does it already, but mine doesn't. So I'm thinking about a way to approach this. Because we definitely want like idle movement. And we want like speech movement. And the question here is, do we want the idle movement to also apply to the speech movement? Like, let's say that for speech movement you have like jumping. Do you also do I want so like a character can swing and also like jump when talking? It's not something that I've really thought much about, but it's something that's important right here. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'll be back. My Biffy. Get some more water. And then we are going to come back to this problem. Hello, hello, hello. So, back to the problem that we have been faced with. We have a character. We want them to move. So, best thing we'd want to move them like this. Like, you know, that's not me. Like, we have like small movement and the character can jump. Something that we can just like... I don't know what types of movements people like. Because yeah, I like my VTubers stationary. Or at least like PNG tubers. But we definitely want them to move. That's for sure. How do we do that? So we probably want like some movement class that can take some data, and then the character, the position, and then spew out a new position. So we can feed it back in, and back in. Well, not always, but we definitely want some kind of a movement class, because then we want to like probably like a drop down that like has stuff in it, like all of the different kind of movements you can have. Jump, float, and all the other cool things offered by VTuber software that I am far too stupid to understand. Actually, give me just 1 second. I need to check something. Because when I'm looking, a lot of the times, God, why do my streams bring some like many like spam bots that just hang around for no reason? It annoys me. Like when I try to look at like the viewer list, it's just like bots all the way down. Well, it's not that there are spam bots, they are like bots that just kind of hang around doing absolutely nothing. Except for Anom, he is a friend, he is not a bot. But yeah, like, that's the weird thing about Twitch. They have like these, like, bots like this exist, they just sit. Like, they don't contribute to the view count because they joined via IRC, from what I understand. But they just sit. They sit and do nothing for most of the time. I've read about Commander Root, that one just basically, like, scours Twitch to, like, find information about the popularity of, like, categories and all. But all of the rest have no fucking reason to exist. And most of them use, like, AI-generated, like, human-esque avatars. I don't know, that's... Okay, going back to VTubeTiny. For now, I don't think I'm gonna make any like smooth transitions between like idle and speech. I'm just gonna make like them two completely separate things. So you can have an idle and then it just goes to speech. And then back. What I'm thinking about doing later is probably the components can say, for example, if some kind of animation isn't infinite. So like, for example, with jumping, you just like jump once and then you go down and that's it. I can probably like have the class responsible for like managing the movement say, hey, I'm ready with my animation, by the way, you can go back to your original state. Which basically just means creating a dumb state machine, but we like state machines. We're developers. Developers. We live on state machines. So, animator, it's movement. You can create a class called movement. The com is stored in a state machine. And I've got a... what can you have in a state machine? A logic error. I guess a logic error. And I have a... The com is stored in the state machine. And I have a bug. Okay. They're naming the class the same thing as the namespace kinda sucks, but whatever. Yeah. Describes the movement for a mover component. Actually, now I can just call it mover. Yeah. So what do we want in a movement class? Okay, we probably want a new enum called movement state. Internal enum movement state. Animating and switch state, probably, something like that. The current movement state. And what I have, the idea that I have, is that in a movement class we have a public, like, app. This is going to be an abstract class. We can have a class, like a virtual method, let's say. Yeah, a virtual function that returns a movement state. Animate. Well, move. We pass in the transform component of the thing that we want to move. And then we return the new state that we are transitioning into, right? It's a bit dumb, but basically what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, basically if we are done, like, let's say that we do some code and then like, oh yeah, the animation is done, cool. We can return animation state, movement state, switch state, because we are done with that. Yeah, that makes sense. And this will mostly or no. Okay, that's dumb. Sorry. Well, these streams are educational. You people can see how programming is all about making silly ideas, then making even sillier ideas, and you friends, I'm sorry, you friends. English is not my primary language. I hereby apologize for diminishing the value of everyone who watches these dumb streams. Yeah. Okay, no. Public. No. Public movement state, current state. Yeah. And then get and protected set. Yeah, and that makes more sense. So basically, I am afraid of this link. Definitely not happiness. Well, I'm gonna check on the side just to verify. Oh, that's so cute! That is so cute! Oh, that's so cute, sir. Thank you so much. I finally have my first quote-unquote fan art. I like it. I would put it as an emote if I had affiliates, which I don't yet because I don't stream enough because I'm freaking lazy. Do not look at the VTuber fainted during stream. That is not important. But yeah. That's so cute. It has the O delta O face. Well, the inverse delta. I'm glad you've picked up pixel art. You seem to be having a lot of fun lately with it. Because, like, you're learning it for, like, RPG Maker and stuff, right? This is an idea. Hey, it's fun. I like it. Current state of the movement machine. Move once. Perform movement. Transform to perform it on. Okay. Honestly, I'm having just more fun just yeah, that's the thing about, like, art. If you get in the zone, you can have fun just, like, doodling. Actually, okay, I don't show it too often because I'm honestly kind of cringing at how bad these were. But, like, back during my high school finals, I used to be very kind of stressed, just a bit. And I kind of found, like, a bit of a, how do you call it? A bit of a like a God, I lost the word for it. Like, I found some quiet time and just, like, doodling. Like, yeah, zen. Like, the fact that, like, drawing made me focus so much on just the act of drawing and nothing else. Okay, the music stopped. Time to find something else that will get me booted off of Twitch. But yeah, going back to it. I've kind of went. Is it time for 80s city pop? If you can find me, like, a good compilation. Actually, no, there you go. Okay, there we go. But going back to it. I kind of found, like, solace, like, calmness in just being able to draw. It was like the act of drawing just made me, like, focus so much on it. I forgot the fact that I was stressing my everything out in order to, like, pass the finals. And, well, there are still some things I'm proud of, even if they look like an 8-year-old drew them. Like, I used to really like drawing characters in front of, like, 3D scenes. This is one of the things that I've drawn. I've even posted it on Twitter, despite the fact that it looks like... Yeah, it's Urotsky, actually. It's, like, the main character of Yume Tuki, a fan game which I really like, and I've played a lot on stream even. And I'm going to play it more sometime soon. There's Urotsky, yeah, there she is. My battery is running low. There we go. What else? What else? Uboa ice cream, another thing. This is just a character straight out of Yume Nikki. So yeah, I was acid drawing. Here you have Kanata. But it was fun, you know. The sole like art of drawing, like enjoy yourself is a fun experience. This thing that I like. Another Yume Nikki fan game character. This time it's Floret from Answered Prayers. I like drawing. I just wish I had like the persistence to keep getting better at it. Because I'm not good. And well, I'm not good obviously, and every single time I find like inspiration to keep going, I just instantly drop it because I'm a lazy cunt. But yeah, that's just a tangent. Drawing is fun. Drawing is very fun. Especially if you're like not doing well, let's say. Abstract, because you don't need it to be virtual. The virtual function, well, this method is not going to have any implementation. So animating dawn. So now we can make like, say, jumping movement. Which derives from the movement itself, right? We override the move. How does it look like in here? God, I've talked so much, I kinda lost. I've lost track of what I was doing. Urotsky. But I like doing that. I like talking, and I like streaming, of course. Okay, character move. So we will replace this with like a state machine. Yeah. So we'll have two. We're going to have like private movement idle mover and private movement speaking mover. All of them will be null by default. Actually, no. I think yeah. The movement for the speaking state and the movement for the idle state. Yeah. So. And here. Copy all of this. So we'll want jumping movement first. So let's copy all of the values here. Do some. What do you not like? Okay, there we go. No, still no. Oh, I've pasted it inside of the function declaration. Okay. That was a silly mistake. Now we can override move like so. Inherit documentation for that. End. We should be able to just I lost track of it. Not this, not this, this. Let me copy this code somewhere else so we can do surgery on it. So let's go like private movement current mover. The currently used mover movement. And then we can just move Aaron transform. Actually, not even the transform. We'd probably want the stage actor instead. So you can have some more control over it. Sorry if I sometimes go silent for a bit, I'm thinking, because that's coding. We probably want one more method called public abstract void restart. Resets all of the variables to the first state. Okay. So we override restart as well. And then here we want some of the private variables like jump and jump count. Then we go jump is false and jump count 0. It's probably a horrible rewrite, but you know, sooner or later we can make it pretty. Well, by we I probably mean myself, after I decide that I'm absolutely done with all of this shiz. So here we can do like I can just copy this. The actor transform private vector to end base position. Okay, so this is a problem because we have scene timer. I think we should be able to make like a regular timer. Okay, let's do that now. Simple time. On this timer. The public class at simplistic timer. So how does the stage timer work like? It uses a stage and it has a set now, and time elapsed. Okay, so I'm just gonna yank all of this in. That counts how much time has elapsed since a point in time, yeah. But the thing is, I'm not gonna rely on this. Stage isn't important for me. Instead, we are going to use wait. Okay, that was weird. That just kind of went Ori. Here we are going to be using the system library and using a private date time? Yeah, date time. Point. So the... what did I press now? So the point will be a daytime now, yeah? Time. So the time here is relative. Okay, we can yank this out for now. Oh great, Visual Studio has this issue again where I cannot check anything. Time span. Total milliseconds divided by 1,000. Yes, I think so. I'm gonna pretty it up later, I promise. But back to the jumping. We can now have a private timer. Make the timer a new timer. Of this. Actor. I can't bring my voice high. It just sounds like I'm dying. Jump. If not jump, then we can just pretty much set the current state to be Donna. Because if we are not jumping, then we are out of here. Otherwise, we are animating. Yeah? Yeah. Or at least I think so. God, another stream I watched that has Nightbot song requests. Almost every week someone requested this song and made everyone AWU 56709. Worth it. AWU? 6709. Okay, so let's make the... Don't need this anymore, right? Let's make the... Ay. Please. Let's make the jumping speech mover, speaking mover, a new jumping move. Yeah. We'll want this to be a jumping movement, because jumping. And let's create a new 56709. Let's switch. No, that's not a switch. So if is speaking, let me visualize this. So we have a first state. It's idle. From idle, we can go to speaking. But from speaking, we can go back. We can be done. And we can go back to idle. This is not city pop. Okay. I'm gonna do something that's kinda ugly. Sorry to all the developers in the chat. We will switch on a boolean. So if we are speaking, the current mover is the jump speech mover. And current mover restart. Otherwise, the current mover is the idle mover. Is this the smartest thing to do? That is what's bothering me. Because something tells me that's not the smartest thing to do. Probably need an enum for the... character move state. Make it an internal. Actually, no, we don't even need it, like, because we can just encapsulate it here. So what states do we have? We have idling, definitely. We have idling, we have speaking. Idle to speak. Speak to idle. And that's probably it. So now we can switch. Create a private state, current state. And probably get rid of all of this. Hide all of this so for now, so it doesn't disturb us. Return null here and also hide all of this. So we now can switch on the state, current state, yeah. So if we are idling, the current mover is current state. The current mover is the idle mover. And then we can check if we are speaking. Wow, the audio code auto completion actually did something smart for once. If we are speaking, we want to move to the idle to speak state. So if we are in idle to speak, the current mover is the speaking mover. The current mover will be reset. And the next state will be what is happening outside? I just heard like really loud screams. Oh well, I have to get used to it. Well, I have to be used to it. So the next state will be speaking. I just hear someone going kurva, kurva. Probably sooner or later I'll have a bottle thrown at my window or something. You never know in this city. You never know in this city. Believe me. Yeah, Jesus, it's so loud outside. So in speaking, the current mover will be the speaking mover. If not is speaking, we can go to speak to idle. Okay, yeah. You can go to speak to idle. And then speak to idle, we just do the reverse. But now we want a special kind of joint. So we can do here, if not a speaking, or current mover, current state is done. Yeah. So here we can create a second thing. We can state idling when speaking mover current state is done. We can copy it almost verbatim. See, if not as speaking, we can just go directly to idle. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is like a special case of the idling variant when the speaking mover is actually done. So we kind of are still speaking, but okay, well, whatever. Let's see what VTubeTiny does now. Let's load the latest thing. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. It's moving. It seems to be very laggy for some reason, but it's moving. Test? Wait. Oh, hang on. Wait. She's going up. She's departing. Why is that happening? That is not City Pop. City Pop, a different city. Yeah, we've moved to New York. Ah. What do we have? Yeah, that is. God, my brain's melting. I have too many informations in here to process them. Oh, oh my. Okay, I see what's wrong. I didn't factor in that the character kind of goes down when the speaking happens. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. It was such a good idea. Okay, but no, we can still salvage this. Because we just have to instruct it on whether we are... I'm not gonna do the selector today, I'm just gonna get the skeleton done, but I am so sorry to anyone watching. It's not going as smoothly as the one before. That's life. That's coding. Okay, this way. We just chilling. Okay, let me pour myself some water. I have a 2-liter jug of water that I have to pour it from. Hopefully I'm not gonna spill it all over my floor. Wish me luck. Beautiful. Sorry, did I say 2-liter? I meant 5-liter. Well, that's water. Okay, so I've did one major change. So instead of going back to the idle state when we are not speaking, we go back to the idle state when we are done with the speaking. So we can safely finish the animation and then stop it. What did this person do to the city pop playlist? It has like proper city pop and then seizure then. This right now? Or before? It's called Never Ending Summer by Kiyotaka Sugiyama. Oh, the one before. It's Unravel 2 by Eternal Raijin. It is that actually Tokyo Ghoul? Cringe. Okay, let's see if this fixed it. Let's add a character mover. Test. Not entirely. Hmm. Hmm. It's almost working. Almost working. The problem is that it never finishes because it's infinite. So if I start talking via the character mover and I start talking, it never stops. Because it's never done. I need to pass the information about whether we are speaking or not to the movement, and I do not like it. I do not like it. How can I combat this situation? Okay, what if I add looping to beginning? I hope that's how you spell beginning. And here in the when I do this, I can set the state to be looping beginning. And inside of the character mover, I can do if not tile generator, if not is speaking, and current mover state is looping to beginning, I can also set it to be like that. And let's, okay. Character test. Oh, look, and now it's working. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Was it worth it? No. No, it wasn't. But now I still haven't checked if the idle ones work. So let's create... What did they add? Okay, can someone tell me why did they add, and I quote, funk music to a Japanese 80s city pop songs playlist? Valera Zaitsev, also known professionally as Durst, Plant, exploded onto the funk scene. I'm sorry, but this is Japanese 80s city pop. I think this is beyond very broad. Okay, let's create a floating movement. There's a movement. Yeah, and implement all that we need for the movement. I don't think we'll need anything for a restart. And for the move, the roguelike of genre names. I guess, okay, for this, we can imagine the character is like inside of a unit circle, like a point. And we can just pick a random point to move there like slowly. Like interpolating. I think that would be the simplest way to move. Actually, not even a unit circle, we can just use a unit square. Like side one, and then we just generate a random point within this thing. Yeah. So private void generate next point. We are going to have a private vector and next point. The point we are moving. And I guess we're going to have some like public float max distance. Let's make it like 5 for now. So for the next point, right, the next point will be a new vector to int of yeah, we private. You're going to need a the random number generator. This will be a new RNG. So we are going to have like a next double between actually between 0 and the distance, pretty much. Actually, between the negative distance and distance. What did Spotify tell? Stacking by the plenty. Plenty's plenty. Okay, so the next point has to be a like private. When we restart, let's set the state to be looping to beginning, and if state is looping to beginning, we somehow need to know the actual like initial position overall, so we don't kind of start generating points like that are just relatives to some other position and just disappear overall out of the square. The actual viewport. This has more pitfalls than I've initially thought. I thought this was going to be a fun rewrite, not a complete, how do I call it? Very lightly put shitstorm. Okay, let's just try this first. Actor.transform.position. Yeah. Next state. Next point is actor position plus generate next relative. Right. Turn this. And then the current state will be animating. So otherwise, we are not going to have a done here. We're just going to position is private vector to end. We also need the initial position, the position we've started from. We're just going to be lerping from this. Do I not have a lerp? Using VTubeTiny extensions, I think. Oh, I do not have lerp for vectors. Time to implement that. Public vector to int lerp vector to int order float. We'll just return a new vector to int of x What is wrong? What is wrong? Because right now I'm completely lost. Let me try extensions, float extension. Really? I've only implemented... Oh god. Why? Why? Does that mean I could just do vector to that? It's not cheating. It's not cheating. Okay, we are going to need a timer here as well. And as before, I am sorry for how bad this code looks like. It will be better. Sooner or later, I'm going to look at it with a clean mind and rewrite it not to look like ass. The timer set now. And we are going to have a public float duration. It will be like, I don't know, 3 seconds by default. Why not? So timer, time elapsed divided by the duration. Cannot convert to... Well, I'm going to force you to be a float. An actor, transform, local position. Position. We also need a reference position. The reference position for calculate the thing, the unit box. So we are going to make it a nullable one, so we can say that if this is null, this will be the actor transform. Actually thinking about that. No, I have a better idea. So on the actor itself, there have been a lot of times that I actually wanted something like that. On the transform itself, I'm going to make a public vector to end spawn position. And it's going to be a get private set. The absolute position this actor has spawned at. And we are going to override the start and set spawn position to local position. Yeah. I think that's fine. What did they... Why is there Polish rap in the 80s city pop songs playlist? Okay, no, that's not gonna work because of how I've ordered it. But I can make it work. Internal void set initial. Local position is spawn position is position. Sets the initial position of this tree. The position. Okay. Let's see if this works. Every single time I see my view counter go up, I'm happy, but then I realize it's only just like foreign bots. Okay. Going back to the floating movement, you can get rid of the reference position and instead use the spawn position as the thing to lerp towards. You can use var t, right? This will be the t, the time. And if t is greater or equal to 1, this current state will be looping to beginning. So even if we are taken in the middle, you should be fine. Moment of truth. Test it. 1, 2, 3. That looks so bad. Where did I make an error? First and foremost. First and foremost, I don't update. What is the default stage called? Because I forgot already. It's called config.json. What? What happened there? Okay, first and foremost, let's decrease the time. Mm. Test 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Ay, ay, ay. Now we have this problem of shoutouts to this guy just creating like a million bots. Loosened crown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and loosened crown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Also, to not a bot, definitely 9. Well, I guess the state machine works. I just need to be a bit smarter about how I do the movement, because right now we can take really sharp turns like this. And what we actually want is probably like a spline instead. So we would have to like generate 3 points, one like that, and then a spline, like at the handle for the spline. It's especially fun having chat open in ISC, all the join and disconnect messages. You need to send a picture of it later, I wanna see how it looks like. Well, I guess I can at least say that it works. Somehow. Sorta. Not really. Oh well. I'm already getting tired a bit for today. I think what I did is fine enough. The base systems are there. It's not perfect yet, but it serves as a good groundwork. And well, that's how it is in programming. Not everything is, you know, perfect the first time. I'm going to continue working on it in my own time, probably later this week. Hopefully have it pushed out by the end. It's not as great as the previous stream I've had, and I'm sorry for that. I've underestimated how much work this will be. But yeah, it kind of works. The basis is there. I just need to make it more pretty. That's basically what's missing. Because the groundwork is there, the state machine is here. Just the groundwork. It's just the prettifying that I have to work on. It's alright, you got it working. It was nice. Thank you, Zev. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. I've been streaming for almost over 2 hours, and I'm starting to get really tired. So yeah, once again, thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to everyone who hanged around. My yield was a bit disappointing today, but oh well, that's programming. See ya, everyone. See ya. Come hang out again.